Hey guys, so recently I've noticed that I have a lot of mates who are probably not lifting weights or training appropriately for what their goals are. These guys might say to me that they want to build muscle, they want to tone up, um, they want to be stronger, they want their legs to be bigger, or they want their arms to be bigger. If it's any goal that's related to muscle having size, tone, or shape, um, they think that they need to do high reps in order to get that. But in actual fact, what the science and what training tells us that we need to be lifting heavy weights with lower reps to be able to get stronger and eventually make that muscle bigger. We can break up rep ranges into a couple of different categories. In the middle, the one that most people are chasing, hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is another way of saying building or muscle building. This is the area that most people most guys I find want to focus on, but they're not lifting the correct reps, weights to achieve this goal. Up at this end is endurance, muscle endurance. Down at this end is strength. And I want you to imagine that this sits on a continuum. For strength training, we're anywhere between 3 to 5 reps. For hypertrophy, we're anywhere between 8 to 12 reps. Endurance training, we're sitting anywhere for 15 plus reps. The weights that we need for all of these are different. So for strength training, we're sitting quite high because we're trying to lift the most amount of weight that we can. For hypertrophy, we're sitting anywhere between 75% and 65%. For endurance training, it's significantly lighter. It's significantly lighter because the reps are so high. The goal of strength training is to lift as much weight as you can. The goal of hypertrophy training is to cause metabolic damage to the muscle, to make the muscle swell and to grow. The goal of endurance training is to work the energy system specific to endurance to make you better at lifting high rep weights. Now, for most guys who want to get bigger muscles or to be stronger, we don't need endurance training. Sometimes we will use it, and it does definitely have its purpose. We shouldn't throw it out completely, but most of the time we would be focusing on these. Now, how would you do that in a program? In a program, traditionally we might do 8 to 12 weeks of strength training, only strength training. In hypertrophy training, we might do 8 to 12 weeks, and then go back to strength training, and then go back to hypertrophy training, and we keep changing. So by doing that, we're able to get stronger, then we lift a greater weight because of the percentage. For hypertrophy training, we get stronger again, increase our muscle size, get stronger again, increase our muscle size, and we keep doing this cycle. However, we also know that we can do some strength training and some hypertrophy training together. It completely depends on what suits you, your time, and what your workout schedule is. With strength training and hypertrophy training, the more rest is better. Okay. Traditionally, with strength training and endurance training, we thought a really short rest was going to be good, but now we know that anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes is optimal. More is better if you can. Same with strength training, we want to be 3 minutes plus. But of course, practically, that's not always going to work. You can't spend, if you're doing 3 minutes after each set, we're not going to get a lot of exercises done in an hour session. So we can start to cut this down, but you just need to know that this percentage is going to start to drop the less rest that you have, the lower the rest is. Most of us probably won't know what our percentages are, okay? So if you're doing something like a leg press, a seated leg extension, some form of chest press on a machine, you probably don't know what your 1RM is, which is okay. But you can say that for strength, I want to be about an 8 out of 10. 10 being the hardest, my heaviest lift that I could ever do, 1 being completely easy, I just got out of bed. So for strength training, we're looking for about a 8 out of 10 in hardness or perceived exertion. For hypertrophy training, we're looking for a little bit less, anywhere between a 6.5 to a 7.5 out of 10. That means that for those last couple of sets, let's say that you're doing 3 sets of 12 for hypertrophy training. On that 12th rep, you should almost be failing. For the whole time, it should feel about a 7 out of 10. For strength training, we're getting close to failure on that 3rd or that 5th rep if you're doing three sets of 3. And that's how you can tell that you're lifting enough weight. So in summary, I want to tell you that I think a lot of the guys that I've spoken to before, so who are looking to get stronger or who are looking to build muscle, are in fact lifting with the wrong intensity. That is to say that they're not using enough weight. They're usually lifting in the endurance range. Endurance training will build some muscle, but not as effectively as hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training will build some strength, but not as effective as strength training. So guys, next time you go into the gym, make sure that you lift with a lower set of reps at a heavier weight to increase the intensity. If you want personal training, or if you want to learn how to lift correctly, if you want to learn how to squat properly, deadlift properly, how to row, push up, how to bench press properly, we can work on that. We don't have to do a session every week. It's about teaching you the movements, learning how to lift correctly and safely. I currently work out of Melbourne in South Yarra. If you want personal training, slide into my DMs. Make sure you smash like on this, and we'll chat soon. Bye.